And we continue with the Advent series with the first Thursday of Advent, December 1st. Every time I pray to God, the following day something awful happens. A while back I prayed the night before, and the following morning I was on my way to work and was stuck behind an SUV that seemed to go 10 and a 30 and nearly crashed at an intersection. It seems that every time I pray to God, something horrible nearly transpires. Maybe it's a punishment from the Almighty, or maybe the devil is out to get me. I mean, either way, someone is enjoying being a plain sadist. I've seen videos where people have said invoking Jesus, Mary, and the saints drives away the diabolical forces. I gave it a go, and really, nothing happened. Was it all bunk? Am I just talking to thin air and imagining all this? Are these all mere coincidences, a random gamble of chance? I read Henry IV, Part 1, and Falstaff gives this profound soliloquy on honor. What's in that word? Air. The same could be said of faith. For the centuries that people have had it, only so few seem to benefit from it while the rest of us toiled and availed themselves to the scraps on the master's table. Is that what's in that word, faith? Just air? But the theologian and apologist would say faith entails more than the abstract. It's not merely confined to the head, but is enacted, works. And a Calvinist, or any other Protestant for that matter, would abhor the notion that faith and works are intertwined, as if it's a concept that can get you burned at the stake. But if faith is nothing more than air, then the prayers said are nothing more than conversations with four walls and some cobwebs in the corner. If faith is nothing more than air, then we ought to be clinging onto life desperately. The martyrs who went off to face the lions in the arena were then the most foolish people in the world, next to hedge fund managers, literary agents, and fashion designers. They lived completely normal lives and threw it all away, and if we entertain pessimism, they ended up in the void and have reaped no reward other than to satisfy something morbid within. We can say they died for something much greater, but we really don't know because we aren't privy to whatever reward they've reaped as a result. So, what's the purpose of faith if it's nothing but air? Even air is good because we need it to breathe, so if then should prayer have some benefit? Can it be a catharsis, a release, a way to vent our frustrations? Even if there's no one listening, even if we end up talking to just four walls and a cobweb in the corner, in a small way it releases our inner thoughts, whether spoken or in the silence of the mind. And if faith is nothing but air, then it makes it easier to dispose in a rubbish bin or tuck it in the winter box in the closet and forget about it. I've treated it very much like a winter jacket, constantly taking it off and putting it on whenever it's convenient. It never stuck, and the events of life have seemed to turn it into that. A convenience, not a necessity. Sadly, there are a great more who have simply treated it as an inconvenience and have tossed it by the wayside. I've done that on numerous occasions, but I've always found myself returning to the scene and picking it up, dusting it a bit and putting it in my pocket. I suppose I don't have the will to completely toss it out, but I don't have the commitment to work full time. It's the winter jacket syndrome, I suppose.